and the glamour. Oh, Wilson, you work out of your house. I saw you at the pub playing trivia. You know, I mean, it's hard work. I mean, I don't make a dime until something sells. I really don't. But then again, I got a business manager, literary agent, the national distributor, the publisher, local distributor, the store, and then RDA retail display allowances. I mean, it's, trust me, an author, you got to really get a lot of things out in the pipeline to make a living at it. I mean, I've truly been blessed, but I work my butt off. But again, I write for a living. A lot of folks write just for the satisfaction of it. And I really respect that. I mean, to take the time to research a topic and write it, and, I mean, that, my hat's off to those folks, too. I mean, yes.
They're all nodding.
Basically,
yeah. Golly, I mean, once an author gets a platform, that just means some credits and things that are published. In the nonfiction genre, what I've found, we're able to sell projects from a one-page query because they know I'll come through with it. I mean, anything I come up with, I want to do a book on famous typos in history or whatever. We'll send it up there, and then I've been blessed though. I mean, because when you get 2 or 3, the greatest feeling as a writer is when you got 2 publishing companies want to do it. You'd think that's wrong, but no, that just increases the value of it. But I think History Press, Arcadia Publishing, they're a good niche publisher for what they do. And local stories, I mean, it's just a gold mine of so many local stories that need to be told. I mean, it's just fascinating stuff.
But if you're interested in
written for the majors, I've been published by Penguin, among others, and I didn't know about this press in Charleston. And I just thought, well, I've got a kind of local store with local ties. I like a local publisher to see if they would do it. I mean, I had no contacts in Charleston, but I, went through the normal submitting procedure and all of that. And they've just been over backwards to help me. I mean, they're not that big of a press, but, they're a history press. They do history stories, small side stories, from all over the country. I mean, I just think it's a great little publisher. I mean, obviously, we're all published with the same publisher on that.
I came to History Press early.
I hope they'll give me a credit on the scroll there.
They have to. Well, make sure they do. They ought to be in the contract.
What it depends, I have a horror story.
Yeah, well,
I
got a horror story about research I did, and I can tell you who stole it. He's on TV and has a show.
The movie aspect, let me give you the 1-minute version. After the book came out, I started writing all the major stars. Clint Eastwood, Jack Nicholson, Tom Cruise. You don't hear from these folks. And out of the blue, I got a letter, snail mail letter, from the post office. Open it up. Robert Redford sent me a letter. He said, I'd love to see a copy of the book. Can you send it to me? Yes. I sent it to him. 2 weeks later, now I'm not talking about, I've never spoken to Mr. Redford. I've never had an email, not a text, not a phone call. He writes letters. And I got a letter from him, and he said, he was, at the time, he was 80. He's 81 now. He said, for an 80-year-old, I'm booked pretty solid. But can I show it to some of my friends? Yeah, like I'm going to turn down. Oh, no, Mr. Redford. No, not you. No, not you. Not you.
Right?
Yeah.
So yes. So one thing led to another, and he put me in touch with an Oscar-nominated screenwriter. And we wrote the screenplay of the book. I helped with the screenplay writing and all of that. And then after they got the screenplay done, we entered it in Vancouver, British Columbia. There's a big film festival there. A lot of movies are made in Canada. A lot of them are. And it was hundreds of entries, and we came in first with the screenplay. Then we entered it in a screenplay in Beverly Hills. And hundreds of entries, knock on wood, it came in first. And then out of the blue, I got a call from an agent in Hollywood who's considered one of the super agents out there. He plays himself in movies as a super agent. Here I am talking to him, and what kind of made us hit it off, you know, I said, well, I'm a USC graduate. You are? I am too. Go Trojans. I said, what? Trojans? Way off, way off. So he kind of laughed. He kind of laughed at that, and we just kind of bonded. So it's to the point now they have the budget. They're talking to stars. They're looking for location and all of that. So, but I was telling Jeff earlier, and I hate to say this. I mean, it's a good book, but the screenplay is a lot better because we had to Hollywood it up. They call it save the cat moments. What that means is you're making the audience start pulling for the bad guy. There was like one instance, Lou, the head bandit as a teenager, had these gangs, and they would rob grocery stores in the upper Midwest on Saturday afternoon. He's from Youngstown, Ohio. They rob grocery stores all the time, you know. No security, money, and they locked 3 people in a freezer. They really did. I mean, that's true. But the Hollywood version, one of the ones that he locked in the freezer was a lady. So Lou took off his jacket and gave it to her as he put her in the freezer. So that's Hollywood for you. But that's okay. Let them do it. Go ahead. Yeah. But
interviewing and working on this book, people's personal narrative has changed based on life experiences and their perception and recall of it.
right.
Did you, along with doing research about it, did you find there were times where something didn't really mesh, and how did you deal with that when you're dealing with someone who's still alive? Tell
There
their
was
story.
so many wild side stories to this character, which that's what got Hollywood interested. And no matter what this guy would tell me, I was able to dig it out from newspaper articles. And, you know, when we was finished getting towards the end of the book, he said, Wilson, you want to put anything about Hemingway in there? And I said, Hemingway? Ernest Hemingway? He said, yeah. He said, my dad and he were drinking buddies. They served in the service together. And he said, wait just a minute. And I was in his house, and he went back and brought out these 2 photo albums. And he started showing, they were old. He said, yeah, there's Daddy with Ernie right there. He said, I got a letter from Ernest Hemingway. Okay. He brought this letter out. And I said, Lou, the bandit's name was Lou Ramsdale. I said, can I borrow this, you know, the photo album, this letter, for 24 hours? I have a friend who's the head of the literature department at Wofford, Dino Tracus. Dr. Tracus was there, and you were there. But he's an Ernest Hemingway expert. So I took him over to Dino, Dr. Tracus. I didn't think I was going to get them back. In other words, they were real. You know, he said, you just donate to the Wofford Library. You know, people want to see this. I said, no, I promised him I'd take it back. But, I mean, this guy, I mean, they tried to put him in Alcatraz. He got out of that. He got shot down at the White House. I mean, the thing about it, anytime you ruffle history, I mean, there was really just small snippets of this story. And I started digging it up, and historians, boy, they all over me. You know, what is this? And now, they're all in my corner, because I've proved this and everything. But this guy, he stopped, him and his gang stopped a 150 passenger train outside of Washington, D.C. Stopped the train. Robbed people, shot people, never killed anyone. Another little side story about the character, when he was dying, I asked him, I said, he was on his deathbed, and I said, Lou, is there anything you're thankful for in your life? You know what he told me? He said, I'm thankful about that Tommy gun. And I said, the Tommy gun? When they were robbing this train in 1949, they had a Tommy gun. Lou said he'd seen it at the picture show. The gangsters, everybody had a Tommy gun, so he had to have him one. But it didn't work. It was broke. But he was carrying it around, hoping to get it fixed. And on his deathbed, he told me, he said, I'm thankful that Tommy gun didn't work, because we were drunk and on that train. Said, you know, he said, we could have just killed so many people. Boy, I mean, that's pretty profound coming from the head bandit himself. But he never killed anyone. I mean, there were people injured on the train, shot. But But that's just one of the side stories about this fascinating character. Of course, I have a lot of critics. Anytime you're in the public marketplace with anything, you have a lot of critics. And my critics, you worship that guy. You know, well, no, I didn't worship this guy. I mean, the guy was a thug. I mean, he shot people, he robbed people. But my fascination with him was more of interest and intrigue. The guy's IQ was 144. 140 and above is genius. Was this guy ever remorseful? Not one bit, even to the end. He always thought he was above everybody. Always thought he was a big shot. But I spent 3 years with him. We'd meet at Hardee's out at Hillcrest on the east side of, he loved gravy, biscuits, and orange juice. And my girlfriend, she scolded, "Don't you meet him in a public place. Don't you have him in your house." Okay. But he was a piece of work. And the thing about it, he was active in civic groups in Spartanburg. I mean, he was Stamp Club, Sertoma, you know. And when after I told all these folks this, I said, "Tell you what, that guy that was in here was a what?" I mean, it just blew their minds, you know. But he was, rest in peace, old Lou. Well, I get to meet a lot of interesting characters. I work out of my house. I consider myself not like a professional researcher, more of a professional nerd, because I am digging, because I write a daily trivia column. It's in a bunch of papers, daily, 7 days a week, and I have to continually research and dig out interesting tidbits and things. Now, I'm old school, the way I start my day, and I'm a 4 o'clock, 4:30 man. I get up and get going. But I'll trim 2 pencils, and I put one on each side of my desk, and I'm making my notes all day with my pencils. And at the end of the day, if I hadn't worn down those 2 pencils, I know I don't have enough notes. And then the last thing I do after I've been doing all my creating all day, the transcribing part, I mean, I'm brain dead by then. That's when I type it and get it into an electronic form that I can send out to my network, though. But when you write a column that's all over the country, and no matter what you write about, somebody in the country is an expert on that subject. I mean, they really are. And I'm not perfect. I mean, these readers let me know. And what's nice about it, I get so many nice comments, especially from famous people and their agents. I may write about somebody or something, and I'll get an email from someone, "Yes, thank you for doing that." I mean, I had a question about who invented the old floppy disk, and the guy's name was Alan Shugart from years ago, and he sent me an email and he said, "Thank you for putting it in there, but please next time say myself and my team." I thought that was pretty nice. But celebrities send me press kits, their agents do, because they want me to write about the celebrity, because that's really like publicity in all these all these papers. And they send all kinds of gifts and stuff, and I take them all. But